Hello, everyone. I'm Sibyl Star, and today we're going to meet your Star Nation relatives from Orion. As we are in the ascension process known as the Great Shift, our consciousness is opening and expanding, and with that comes a remembering. We are multidimensional beings having an experience of separation from Source, but the true reality is that we have never left. It is just our experience of separation and that of an aspect or a fractal of the one. Part of the 3D reality is the third dimensional reality is to forget that we are Source, that we have never left the source of all creation. Now is a time of remembering who we are, that we are multidimensional beings having experiences in different realities and different dimensions. There is the true reality is that there is no past or present, only now, but different timelines. We also have families and other star nations, as well as a starseed lineage. There has been a quarantine on Earth that has prevented our Star Nation relatives from having direct contact with us. But that quarantine has been lifted, and it is now time to make relations once again with our galactic family. We might call them our cosmic cousins. Okay. All right. And our Star Nation relatives need us to remember them because they are here to help us with this shift in consciousness that we are having here on Mother Earth, as many of our Star Nation relatives have gone through a similar process. Bashar says that the years 2023 and 2024 will begin a 10-year open contact window, but that we must elevate our own consciousness so we can meet our Star Nation relatives in the same resonant field as the third dimensional reality is difficult for most of our relatives to manifest in. And we can meet star beings in the same dimensions as magical beings, such as fairies, elves, dragons. They're all there. Okay. And like I said, today we will meet Orion, but this is, I can't remember which number, maybe 6th in a series. And so I have other videos on other Star Nation relatives, such as the Arturians, the Sirians, who else? The Pleiadians, the Hydra Constellation, and then upcoming will be the Lyrans, the Lyravegans, the Andromedans. I try to do these videos when they are in alignment in some way with the sun. And so anyway, now let us begin. All right. I'm going to do a PowerPoint here. Okay. All right, here we are. Let me get my image down here. All right, so meet your Star Nation relatives of Orion. And of course, here is the constellation of Orion. You can see that we have him as a hunter. He is very recognizable as the shape of a man. Now, I seldom see his arm or his shield, but the centerpiece that looks like a man is one of the most visible and recognizable star constellations. And you can always find him by the Belt of Orion, where these 3 stars line up almost perfectly. Orion the Hunter is arguably the most recognizable constellation in the world. Orion lies on the celestial equator, making it visible from both the northern and the southern hemispheres. Orion's shape is easy to pick out because of its many bright stars and signature belt. These 3 stars that are close together. So this first image here is something in my eye. This first image here is how he actually will look in the sky to us. These 3 bright belt stars, and then you've got the other stars here. That this is like the what is that? The left shoulder, the right shoulder, the left knee, and the right knee. It's right, yeah, right knee, right shoulder, left shoulder, left knee. Okay, and here's the belt, and then these three are what is called his sword, and within that is the Orion Nebula. Okay. All right, so Orion is clearly visible in the night sky from November to February, and I'm recording this video in early December, and Orion uh, rises in the eastern horizon. They say around December 12th. So you will see Orion rising in the eastern horizon around December 12th. Okay. All right. In the night sky, of course. So one is clearly, so finding Orion's belt is the easiest way to locate the Orion constellation, like right here. Orion's belt is formed by three bright stars, Alnilam, Mintaka, and Alnitak. Okay. Orion is in the southwestern sky if you are in the northern hemisphere, or in the northwestern sky if you're in the southern hemisphere. This constellation contains 10 formally named stars. The stars' names approved by the International Astronomical Union are Alnilam, Alnitak. I'll see if I can point them out to you. Oh, actually, I've got a better image right here. Okay, this one down here has the names with it. So here we've got Betelgeuse, we've got Maesa, Bellatrix. Many of you Harry Potter fans might be familiar with that name. Rigel. This is called Saiph. And then here are the three belt stars. We've got Alnitak is the first one, the second one is Alnilam, and the third one is Mintaka. Okay. And then here are the stars of the belt and the Orion's Nebula. Okay. All right. Orion is the 26th constellation in size, occupying an area of 594 square degrees. It's a huge constellation with many stars. The brightest star, and I'm going to show you the stars here, the brightest star in Orion is the bluish, this star right here, and here it is right here, Rigel, okay, which marks his western knee or foot. Rigel is a blue supergiant, 770 light years away with a magnitude of 0.2. Rigel is the seventh brightest star in the entire sky. The star marking the other knee of the foot of Orion is called Saiph, S-A-I-P-H, a magnitude of a 2.1 star. It's a blue supergiant and 720 years away. There's Saiph right there, okay? The second brightest star in Orion is the reddish-orange Betelgeuse, which is this right here. He's also huge, which marks one shoulder. Betelgeuse is the 10th brightest star in the sky at a magnitude of 0.5. It's a red supergiant, 430 light years away, and a whopping 800 times larger than our sun. There's our sun right there. So you just have a sense of how big Betelgeuse is. Antares, I think, may be the largest star in the sky, and Betelgeuse is a close second, okay? Or that I'm aware of, okay? If we substituted Betelgeuse for our sun, it would swallow up all the inner planets. The third brightest star of Orion, which marks the other shoulder, is Bellatrix. Okay, and Bellatrix is right here. Okay, there's Bellatrix. And if we come down here, we can see Bellatrix right there. So she's a blue star. Bellatrix is a blue supergiant shining at a magnitude of 1.6, is the 22nd brightest star, and is 245 light years away. Okay. I'll just come over here. Okay. All right. So the Egyptians believed the constellation of Orion to be a divine being, that of Osiris. It was not a symbol. It was his celestial form, with the pharaohs being his physical incarnation. And here is an image of Osiris. In 6700 BC, the stars of Orion rose with the spring equinox for 2,000 years. However, the effects of the precession of the equinoxes caused Orion to slip lower and lower in the sky. The Egyptians developed the concept of an immortal god slipping into the underworld and passing his throne to his son Horus. Osiris is known as the god of the afterlife and brings regeneration. The pyramids of Giza are aligned with the stars of the belt of Orion, which you can see them right here, okay? This is Mintaka, which is aligned with the smallest of them. This is Al-Nalam, which is the middle star, and this is Al-Natak, which is aligned with the Great Pyramid. It is an optical illusion that this middle pyramid is larger. I read that it is on higher ground, and anyway, it's an illusion. This is the Great Pyramid, this last one, okay? All right, so like I said, the pyramids of Giza are aligned with the stars in the belt of Orion, which shows the deep connection the Egyptians had to this constellation. Greek mythology had several versions of the myth. In one, Orion is chasing the Pleiades, which is in late Taurus. The most prominent myth, though, is the one where he is an unwelcome admirer of Artemis. And here we have Artemis right here. There's Artemis, and here's Orion, okay? She created a giant scorpion who stung him in the foot, causing him to go blind. In another myth, she fell in love with him, but accidentally shot him with her arrow. Either way, he's injured by Artemis. In Mesopotamia, he was the great shepherd of Anu, guarding the great flocks of the sky. And Orion is a well-known constellation in many cultures. In Australia, the stars forming Orion's belt and sword are sometimes called the pot or the saucepan. In South Africa, the three stars of Orion's belt are known as the Three Kings. In Spain and Latin America, the stars are called Las Tres Marias, or the Three Marys. Okay. All right. Let's see where we can go here. All right. So the three belt stars of Orion are called the Pearls of Orion. And all of the stars, so this is the astrology of the stars of Orion, okay? So the three belt stars are called the Pearls of Orion. All of the stars of Orion align with the zodiac degrees of Gemini, the twins. All zodiacal degrees given in this talk today are from the year 2000. All right, so we're going to start with the stars again. So here is Alnitak. It's the star that aligns with the Great Pyramid. It's the furthest to the east. It's the first star to the east. Okay, so they say this is actually the first star. Okay, it has attributes of being a peacemaker, or attributes of being peacemakers, dreamers, knowledge keepers, and it is aligned with shamanic journeys, and it is aligned with the Great Pyramid. And it is, Alnitak is at 24 degrees, 41 minutes of Gemini. Al-Nalam, which is the second star here in the middle star, is at 23 degrees, 28 minutes of Gemini. It is said to be able to hold things together in a way that creates a new foundation. It brings attributes of being a problem solver and a researcher with good business skills. The third star, which is Mintaka, okay, at 24 degrees of Gemini, is the last star in the belt, and is said to bestow attributes of unshakable faith in a higher power, a strong bond with water, and forgiving. It also bestows leadership and being a great thinker, okay? And Mintaka has a very long history of beings living there, the very, very super ancient beings. And some actually say those, Mintaka is more of a water world, and that many beings from Mintaka were part of the creation of Lemuria. Okay, all right, so let's keep going. I think this is, of course, just the zodiac up here with Gemini in the center. I think that's where I'll just place myself. That's a good spot. All right. So the next star is Rigel, which is the, what is this? The left foot here. Okay. And it is at 16 degrees, 15 minutes of Gemini, and it is the brightest star in the left foot of Orion. It bestows attributes of being an educator or scholar, benevolence, and renown. Saiph at 26 degrees, 25 minutes of Gemini is here in the right foot, and it bestows attributes of transmuting darkness through alchemy. This placement can indicate secrets and whistleblowers. All right, now we have Bellatrix. She's right here. Bellatrix is at 20 degrees, 57 minutes of Gemini in the left arm of Orion, and bestows the ability to be decisive, strategic, organized, and a high achiever. It can bring great success, but one must face personal weakness and one's own shadow. This is also known as a star of the feminine spiritual warrior. All right, Mesa is at 23 degrees, 42 minutes of Gemini, and it's right here, okay, on the left shoulder of Orion. It bestows self-empowerment, discernment with the ability to be a futuristic, bright thinker. All right, Betelgeuse here is at 28 degrees, 45 minutes of Gemini in the right shoulder of Orion. It is the largest and second brightest star. It bestows resourcefulness, high intelligence, and resilience. It amplifies talents and abilities and brings great success, asking no price. Okay. And then the final one is the Orion Nebula, which I'm actually sitting in front of, is at 25 degrees of Orion, and it's usually down in here in its sword. Okay. And it is part of the sword of Orion. It bestows angelic energy, ability to trust, and has strength in adversity. Okay. Okay. Or I can kind of just put myself maybe just right here. Okay. All right. So the constellations, the star nations of Orion and galactic history. The constellation of Orion is huge, with many billions of souls incarnating there. There are many stars that have habitable planets where different races of star beings exist. They have the most diversity of life there due to size. They are humanoids, insects, reptilians, aquatic beings, avian beings, grays, and those we most likely cannot even imagine. Here's a few images. He looks like a star commander. Of course, here we have a reptilian being. She looks like maybe some kind of a priestess. Okay. All right. The closest image that I think the closest image is that of the cantina scene from Star Wars. It is said that the Star Wars movies were based on the Orion Wars that took place long ago over several millennia. Here are a few images. Yeah. Check out all these different guys here. Okay. All right. I loved that image. I loved that cantina scene. And so it's to know that it's really true. I mean, it really that they say Orion has that much diversity. All right. The galactic history of Orion is one of struggle, but ultimately ascending out of the struggle into the light. We are feeling the echoes of the Orion Wars here on Earth now and are going through a similar process. Polarity consciousness, and here's the galactic history. Polarity consciousness in the form of war broke out in the constellation of Lyra billions of years ago between the Lyrans and the reptilians from Draco. Eventually, several planets in the Lyra system were destroyed, and these Lyrans became refugees. The Lyrans were explorers with advanced technology, and they traveled to the Orion Constellation, where they colonized several of the planets there. The beings from Draco followed them there, and the war continued. Okay. So these are some familiar faces here. Okay. So Orion became the epicenter of polarity consciousness in the Milky Way and participated in millions of years of war. On Orion, as I said, the Star Wars saga, they say, is based on the Orion Wars that took place over millions of years and millions of years ago. Okay. On Orion, there was a corrupt empire that attempted complete domination of planets and people. that were based on very sinister methods, including the manipulation of consciousness and energy through psychic and metaphysical powers. They used psychic warfare and mind control. And the development of the dark arts of magic, as well as white magic. It was actually the development of magic in all forms, dark and light. They are known as the wizards of the universe, as they know how to bend the laws of nature. And they know how to do it through the use of the mind. And, you know, when you think of Star Wars, well, the scene that always kind of gets me is, you know, when Obi-Wan and the two droids are, you know, are entering into some town, and the Empire guards are there checking ID, and, you know, Obi-Wan says, you know, waves his hand and says, you know, these are not the droids you are looking for, you know. So there's this mind control. The use of the mind by the Orions is what they're known for. The complete development of all the things the mind can do. Okay. All right. Some of the most advanced spiritual beings in the whole galaxy were here. Just as in Star Wars, there was the resistance called the Black League with freedom fighters and spiritual masters such as Yoda and Obi-Wan. The Orions were also spiritual warriors. And like I said, these wars just continued. And finally, a Messiah came to the Orion Constellation to teach them that the real battle is the internal battle. The Orion beings needed to integrate their shadow, the dark and light within themselves, for that was the only way to break free out of this polarity consciousness, you know, this us versus them mentality, to own what lives within so that it is no longer projected outward towards others, understanding that the external world is a mirror of our inner world. When the Orion beings no longer participated in the outer battle, but raised their vibration, is when they were able to break free from polarity consciousness and ascended into higher frequencies and liberated themselves from the fear and control matrix that kept them enslaved to this battle. We are in this same battle now to free ourselves from polarity consciousness, the us versus them mentality, and ascend into the higher frequency dimensions of unity consciousness. So anyway, let's look here at some of our beings. I feel like this is a wizard and sees, this is light language, and the Gemini, Orion are so much, they know how the magic of words and the magic of symbols. Okay, and you know, Orion beings were very involved in Egypt, as we know, and my understanding is that the Egyptians, when they were doing spiritual work, they did not write down, or they didn't write down vowels, and so that people knew to put the vowels in, because the vowels made the words come alive. Okay, so then of course here we have Yoda. And of course, here we have Orion was the archetypal battle of good versus evil, you know, that we will continually be engaged in until we integrate our own shadow. All right. And then here we have a reptilian, you know, and they say, you know, many of the enlightened reptilian beings are completely heart focused, and here they are surrendering to the light. Okay, the light within. All right, so on to the next one. All right, so this is about the Orion Light Council. This information comes from Debbie Solaris, and here is an image of the Orion Light Council. Okay. The term Orion Light refers to the point in Orion's evolution where they have succeeded in integrating polarity. The mass consciousness of Orion now operates from unity consciousness. The Orion Light Council is very much aligned with the original Elohim, or the creator gods of the Milky Way. A quality of the Elohim is to perceive with one mind. Their symbol is the all-seeing eye. Here's the eye of Horus, which is the all-seeing eye, because they have the ability to draw their energies together into a collective group mind in order to see as one. They are knowers of the great mysteries and have tremendous intelligence as well as full access to the Akashic records. The Orion Light Council regulates laws administered in this part of the universe. This is the highest governing body for this quadrant of the universe and is subject to no laws except to the great divine director or source. This council regulates many different star systems and planets. The karmic council that governs Earth and regulates the incoming and outgoing life forms from the Earth through Arcturus and the Hydra Constellation. For this reason, the Mintaka star system in the Orion Belt is directly aligned with the star system of Arcturus. Mintaka is not only the hospitality of center of Orion, it is also a doorway to other universes. It is the home for higher dimensional entities, both physical and non-physical. And so this is actually a Mintaka being right here, an image of one. Someone had an image, okay? And then this is an image of a being on the Orion Light Council. All right. Okay, so this is about the Orion Starseeds. Okay. Orion Starseeds are those souls who have had lifetimes in Orion. For some, it may have been their first incarnation in the Milky Way or the first time in a physical body. However it occurred, their cosmic DNA has a strong Orion imprint. By choosing to incarnate in Orion, a soul has chosen to walk in the heart of darkness to help heal and integrate the polarity consciousness in the Milky Way galaxy. Most Orion starseeds have walked the path of dark and light, for how else will they know both so they can be integrated within their soul? And I also want to share this information I'm sharing now is a lot of what I have just simply learned about doing readings, the galactic astrology readings, and the information that came through during the reading about the Orion starseeds. Okay. So all stars of Orion are aligned with Gemini, the sign of the twins, our own inner duality, with the goal of integration of polarities within ourselves, the integration of dark and light. Many Orion starseeds are incarnated on Mother Earth now, as we are moving into higher frequency dimensions, or what we call the ascension process. They are here to polarize forces to obtain balance between dark and light within and help us embrace our shadow. Orion starseeds are catalysts that push us towards our growth and they're still playing the roles of both dark and light to make this happen. Many politicians have strong Orion markings, as well as many spiritual leaders. Many are shamanic healers who have walked this path and know how to help us heal the split within ourselves, as they have been there before our Orion starseeds. But they must always start with their own healing first before they can help others. Orion starseeds are attracted to magic and wizardry, as they know how to work with the mind and the elements to bend the laws of nature and bring desired outcomes into manifestation. So here are some Orion starseed traits, okay? So even though there are many different star nations, there are a few traits starseeds from Orion share. An insatiable thirst for knowledge. They're great manifestors. They're fiercely independent. They value alone time. The compassionate activist with a strong moral compass. Maybe overthinkers. They struggle to trust others. They can be practical and logical, as well as passionate and intense. They use both sides of their brain. They have a great sense of humor and often have striking blue eyes. And here are some potential health conditions, according to Debbie Solaris. Orion health conditions, heart conditions, and stroke, as they carry a lot of anger issues from the past from being enslaved. Okay. Anger management, meditations, Akashic clearings, shadow work is important. They need a meat-based diet, but when they start to ascend, they may do better on plant-based diets. Okay. Okay, and here is the Orion Nebula. This is the most recent image. It came from the James Webb Telescope. To me, it looks like a heart with wings, okay? Even though it's not exactly a heart, it looks like a heart to me with this light in the center, okay? And they say this is where the portal is. It is believed to be a portal in from the angelic realm into the Milky Way galaxy. To me, like I said, it looks like a heart with wings. All right, kind of, yeah. Anyway, many star seeds from Orion are here on Mother Earth at, at this time of the great shift to help with the ascension process of Mother Earth and humanity. Orion is the most easily identified star system in our galaxy due to the pronounced shape of a human that the stars make. As we say, as above, so below, Orion is one of our most profound teachers. If you have always felt a connection to Orion, you might be an Orion starseed. If you have planets that align with the stars of Orion, either by conjunction or opposition, you might be an Orion starseed. Orion is the most visible from November through February, so go out and connect with the Orion Constellation as there may be messages for you during that time. All right, blessings to you all. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the galactic astrology that I do in case you are interested. So anyway, so what we do in galactic astrology is we take your natal chart. We have this person's natal chart. It's kind of hard to see, but she has a sun over here at 27 degrees of Gemini, and she has an ascendant at 0 degrees Cancer. Okay. And so we come over here, and what we do is we look at the fixed stars that are aligned with these different planets. And so, and in what constellation. So this person, she has, like I said, here's her sun at 27 degrees, 50 minutes of Gemini. And it is actually conjunct the star Polaris, the star Polaris in Ursa Minor. It's also conjunct Betelgeuse here, okay? And her ascendant is conjunct Betelgeuse. And so she has lots of other things going on as well. But she definitely would have, I would say she's got a very strong Orion starseed marking. She's got some other things too. But anyway, so if you're interested, you can contact me here at www.sibylstar.com. Okay. And so just to kind of wrap it up, could you be an Orion starseed? You can find out with the Galactic Astrology Starseed reading with me, Sibyl Star. So many blessings to you on your journey. All right. Namaste to all. All right. Have a wonderful holiday season. All right. Bye.